Yeah, everybody wants to get the start. Now, we talk about the start. This will be the initial throw-in, obviously, the ball from that. But Brafey have got to get a good start. I'm sure they're going to target it because they don't want to knock more, just get a couple of points and defend for the game. So it'll be hugely interesting to see what happens in the next 5 minutes.
I think James Minogue actually is going into the full back line for Brafey. We'll check that.
And we're up and away in the county senior football final, and it's Brafey who are playing from right to left as we broadcast from the media tower side, shooting into the Bacon factory end. Straight away they're trying to get off to a good start, as Declan mentioned, as Conor O'Shea in possession. He's entering into the large D. There's 2 Knockmore men around him. He needs support. He goes short to Matty Ruan. Matty switching direction over to that stand side. It's inside now to Gareth Dunn, keeping close tabs on Gareth. Over there is Sean Holmes looking up to see can he play it back out, and that he does to find Michael Hall. Hall gets it out all the way out towards Robert Fadden. He's on the 45 metre line. He looks up at the post. He has a shot and just didn't connect with that. That's the first wide.
Yeah, but it's exactly the way we'll see a lot of the game played now, more with 13 guys inside their own 45, and they'll just be, they're so patient, they'll be happy with this, and this is the way they'll use the kick out, short kick out all the time.
Yeah, and they're going to try and break from deep.
The short kick out from Colin Reapa, son of Pat, of course, who lined out for Knockmore in their last county final win in 1997, as Knockmore now building from deep, looking to build up a bit of momentum as Conal Dempsey gets onto it just around the middle of the park. He goes short to Kevin McLaughlin, who's had an immense season. He's been integral to all the good things that Knockmore have enjoyed in this year's championship.
It looks like Conor O'Shea is picking up Kevin McLaughlin from the start.
And a short pass in, nice dink ball into, it looked as if it's going towards Conal Dempsey, but Brafey read it well. Knockmore get it back in the shape of Keith Rutledge, has gone out for a sideline ball.
Yeah, great tackling from Matty Ruan there. Keith needed to be stronger on the ball there.
I think there's a player that you mentioned, Nigel, Matty Ruan. I think he needs to have a huge game for Brafey.
Seamus O'Shea looking to launch one in towards his younger brother, but that's well read back there. Good play by Kieran King, just sitting in front of Aidan O'Shea, and he clears his lines, gives a short now to Kevin McLaughlin, and Knockmore now looking to go on the counter attack and see if they can create a move from that. Great play from Kieran King to snuff out that Brafey move. It's now with Pierce Rutledge. Pierce, beautiful short ball inside, picks out the run of Peter Naughton, the top scorer in this year's championship. He's well marshalled back there. 2 Brafey men keeping close tabs on him on that occasion. It's played all the way back out now to Shane McHale. He's on the 45 metre line. McHale looking up to see if there's a man loose. There's a Knockmore man free over on that far side, but he opts to go short instead to Darren McHale. Darren to Kevin McLaughlin, about 50 metres out from that Brafey goal, and now coming through at speed the centre here is Keith Rutledge for Knockmore, and that one is up and over the bar. There was a goal chance there, but they've got the point.
Yeah, that was a wide open goal chance. He came off the shoulder really at pace there. It was one-on-one Henley. He looked at him in the whites of his eyes, and I think he went to blast it. He didn't show any composure. It went over the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, Knockmore will be delighted with that, because Brafey had 13 guys in their own half and they were able to break them down. Great ball in from Kevin McLaughlin. Peter Naughton has already shown it in front twice and has won the ball out in front, so that's all good for Knockmore. But obviously for the first time Knockmore are going to come up against a team who are going to get 10 or 12 lads behind the ball.
They are, and the ball that went in that time to Aidan O'Shea, where he came from, Nigel, it was King that did the job, and I think that's what he's going to do all day long.
Yeah, Knockmore picked up the pieces again now. They've snuffed out another Brafey attack. They're now entering in to the Brafey half again, this time with Conal Dempsey, son of the manager Ray, about 40 metres out, goes short to McLaughlin, and one sent in. It was in towards Peter Naughton. Has Naughton done enough to kept it in? He has kept it in, and they need options, they need support, and they're going to have a shot from about 21 metres out. It's looking like it's going to fall for Pierce Rutledge. He's a bit of work to do. He's won it. There's 2 Brafey men around him. He's trying to turn. He's about 13 metres out. He gets support now from Darren McHale. It's in the moment for Knockmore, and that 45. One is gone up.
45.
Oh, it's gone just wide. It's a 45, lads. It looked as if it was going over the bar.
There was a block on it. One of the Brafey lads got a block on it.
Yeah,
brilliant block.
See it on the screen.
Number 2.
Yep. It was Dylan
Cannon. Dylan Cannon got a good block, because again that was a goal chance. I'll tell you what, lads, Knockmore cutting up Brafey fairly handy as they're going through the middle.
It's the runner for deep that's causing all the trouble. Brafey are setting up across. See, again, Brafey haven't done this all year long, and they're asking, they've been asked to do maybe a slightly different system where they put everybody back inside the 45. That's grand if you've bodies back, but everybody has got to be tuned in. And twice early doors, more. I hope they don't rule it, obviously, but the first one was a great goal chance. The second one is a good intervention from Dylan Cannon.
There's a huge difference between having 30 men behind the line and assigning jobs to 12 or 13 people behind the line, because you got to know, and Knockmore have been working on this for 6 months. They're masters at it. It's new to Brafey.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Colin Reeve coming forward for this 45. He won in Ireland under 21. few years ago, of
didn't
course,
get a hold
and
of
that
it.
one just never connected, and that's gone to the left and wide. It's the first wide of the afternoon for Knockmore.
Yeah, if I have a criticism of Colm, he strikes the ball very well when he's hitting kick out, and he drives right through the ball. He seems to, when he goes up to hit the 45, like he gets the distance very easy, so he kind of comes off the side of his foot and doesn't follow through sometimes.
Long kick out there from Henley. Knockmore won it fairly handy in the middle.
Yeah, Conor Flynn with that fetch, and now it's brought forward to Aidan Norm. Goes onto ground momentarily, back up on his feet. Good control. Now coming through there at speed was Darren McHale. That pass just didn't come to him, and Brafey have snuffed it out.
Absolutely. You took it out, took the words out of my mouth. Aidan Norm is so accurate, and that ball is only about 40 metres out. He's well able to kick that ball over the bar.
It's now with Colm Flynn for Brafey, about 45 metres out from the Knockmore goal. The Ballymahan native, he's their top scorer this season so far with 29 points from 5 games. As it's now with Shamey O'Shea. Shamey became a father in recent weeks. He does a quick 1-2 there with younger brother Conor, and just the return pass, he's a bit of work to do. Brafey still have it, as coming in for support now is Keith Mulcrone. Mulcrone gives it short to Tommy O'Reilly. He's on the 21 metre line. In turn now gives it to Darren Moore, and the block is in there. Can he get the second bite to Sherry? Plays it back to the captain, Aidan O'Shea, about 35 metres out. Just needs support. Plays it into the centre towards Michael Hall. Hall offloads it to the runner. That's Robert Fadden. Fadden gives it, and that one has gone to across the face of goal and wide.
It was Matthew that had the shot, Matthew at the end. And now they worked it well. They were patient. First time we've seen Aidan O'Shea involved in the game. They worked it right across over to the right hand side, and it was Matthew Ruan that turned up in a good position, but he'd be disappointed with the shot.
5 minutes gone, the county final. It's Knockmore leading Brafey by a point. That Keith Rutledge score opening proceedings for the North Mayo men. The restart from Colm Reap gets plenty of distance into the opposing half, but that one is now gone out for a sideline ball in favour of Knockmore, and it'll be Shane McHale to take.
I think Darren Moran thought he was going to get a free there, but there was no free in it.
And McHale takes a short, nice pass to Peter Naughton, who's got 131 so far in this year's championship. He's gone past Sean Holmes. He's going to have a crack across the face. A goal for Knockmore! Well, he crossed it across the face of goal, and the runner was there to palm it home. And it's Darren McHale who has Knockmore off to a blistering start after 6 minutes to lead by 4.
Yeah, that score was all about Peter Naughton, though, Nigel, wasn't it?
It was. I was actually going to say a few moments ago, Dylan Cannon is struggling with Peter Naughton.
Yeah.
Peter Naughton wins the ball out. Dylan lets him in way too easy. Peter Naughton goes across, has an easy point. I was just about to say, you were saying how much he had scored. I said he's going to add another point to this because he was going to fist it over the bar, because Darren had an awful lot of space, ground to make up, but he throws a brilliant ball across, and Darren threw himself full length at it. It's a great start for Knockmore.
Yeah, well worked.
Great goal from the teacher, the 26-year-old brother of Shane. But what's the response going to be now from Brafey, as Aidan O'Shea looking to lead and to get his side off the mark, but he's lost it. It's good defending and good tackling back there by Knockmore to turn it over, and they play it out now to Nathan Armstrong underneath the stand. He's eating up plenty of yards, entering into the Brafey half, looking to see what's available to him. Goes short to the captain, David McHale, and Brafey just getting the bodies back, trying to organise things, as a ball was been sent in towards towards Peter Naughton, but too much juice on it, and that's gone out.
I don't know. I think Brafey should seriously look about. If that ball was a small bit under, Naughton had it again, and once Naughton had the one thing about Peter Naughton, you have to deny him the ball. Once he has the ball in his hands, you cannot do anything.
He looks a threat every time he gets the ball. He looks a live threat for Knockmore, no doubt about it.
And again, Knockmore winning the breaking ball from that Brafey kick out, and they play it forward towards Keith Rutledge now. Rutledge coming at speed off the shoulders Kevin McLaughlin. There's 2-3 Brafey men around him. He does well though to give it back to Rutledge again. Keith, he's on the 45 metre line, goes short now to Conal Dempsey needs support, and he gives it to Darren McHale with the short pass towards Nathan Armstrong. There's 2 Brafey men around him. He has to give it back to Dempsey again. All on his own over this side is Conor Flynn, who's calling for it, but he opts to go short instead to Kevin McLaughlin. 35 metres out off his left boot. That one is just gone to the near post and wide, a third wide for Knockmore.
Yeah, Kevin will be disappointed with that, because he got a bit of space there, and he had a second to do it. He just outside the left post.
Yeah, and they're the shots that we've seen him so often score. Again, he normally gets them. I see Aidan O'Shea's gone to the middle of the park. If you're a Knockmore management, you'd be absolutely delighted with that, because they're forcing him out there. You see, he's double teaming inside.
I think it's absolutely brilliant the way they played him inside, because what happens when Aidan Winter come out, David McHale is marking him and Kieran King is in front of him, but when Aidan Winter go out the field, young King goes with him.
Yes.
And David McHale still holds his line, so he's not even going to be able to create space in behind him.
No.
And O'Shea just winning that kick out there from Robbie Henley, And Brafey now will look to try and get an attack here and get their opening score if they can. We've played 10 minutes. It's Knockmore leading a goal and a point to no score. What will it be here from Colm Flynn? He's turning one way, he's turning the other, and that's the opening score for Brafey. That's them off the mark.
In fairness to Colm Flynn, he's been very impressive this season. Accuracy is his, I suppose, the main weapon that he has, and it's a great weapon to have as a forward. He can score. And you know when he gets the ball, Michael D. Nigel, that he turns, that the chances when he shoots, there's a much greater chance that he scores than he won't.
Well, that's 30 points in 5 games. Impressive.
It is. And talking to Alan Malloy there before the warm-up, he was saying to me, he said, how many players have Brafey that will kick points from 30-35 metres? He said if they have enough of those, he said they'll beat us.
Right.
You know, and I was making the point about young Flynn, but I said he plays kind of in the loop off Aidan, but that was a brilliant point of his left foot.
Brilliant score as Knockmore now themselves go on the attack, chasing into that Albany end as Aidan Norm looking to play a short. That he does, picks out Peter Naughton. Naughton's in the large D. He turns off his right boot. Oh, that is absolutely superb score from Peter Naughton.
I just want to agree with Nigel there, because Dylan Cannon is in all sorts of trouble with Peter Naughton. Peter Naughton is winning the ball at will. He's under no pressure winning that ball. He is left and right. He has options, and it looks like every time he gets the ball, something is going to happen positively for Knockmore.
So 1-2 to a point in favour of Knockmore. The kick out from Robbie Hindley, and the mark is used there by Shamey O'Shea. He plays it into the hands now of Gareth Dunn. Dunn going past the challenge of Sean Holmes. Another Knockmore defender comes in for assistance, still with Brafey there, as Robert Fadden comes in for support, and now it's with Aidan O'Shea. O'Shea's about 35 metres out. He's trying to fend off the challenge. He gives it off to Matty Ruan. That's a fine score from Matty Ruan. It's back to a 3-point game.
Yeah, and that was about Aidan O'Shea. He had the free, got Glavy had the hand up, in fairness to him. He was coming across the line. What we've seen with Aidan O'Shea, holding 2 men off with one hand, Solon with the other. He found Matty on the loop. Matty came off the shoulder, and a good score.
Great score. So it's back to a 1-score game again. 3 points separating the sides. The restart from Colm Reap. One there in the centre by Shane McHale. McHale keeping close tabs on him there for the moment is Tommy O'Reilly. Offloads it to Aidan Orm. And Orm now to Kevin McLaughlin, or to Keith Rutledge up rather, on the 45-metre line. Rutledge plays it forward to Dempsey, back to Rutledge, and that one is gone to wide, fourth wide for Knockmore.
Keith has actually started very, very well, but scoring would not be Keith's forte. He comes out on the ball and sets it up very well. Again, he'd be disappointed with that miss, but brilliant for Conall Dempsey. Conall Dempsey contested the ball with Seamus O'Shea. Seamus O'Shea had all the edges on it, but Conall managed to get a hand to it to knock it down. And no more be happy about us. They're winning so many breaks.
They're winning great ball in the middle of the park.
There.
Something that they would have said that it wouldn't be given. They'd have to work very hard for, but they're doing very well. Conor O'Shea not really in the game yet.
Shane McHale penalised there for, I think it was a legal pick off the ground, so the free awarded to Brafey, and it's Conor O'Shea who takes it in towards brother Aidan. There's 2 Knockmore men around him. Great strength and power from Aidan to fend them off, and looking to get the run of James Minogue, who was coming through, but it didn't work out from, and there's a small bit of a altercation on the ground there. It's going to be a free out for Brafey.
I tell you, David McHale and Kieran King were relentless in their tackling of Aidan O'Shea, and in credit to them, they didn't give away a foul, and that's something that they have to watch out for. Discipline in the tackle, and they've been very impressed in that regard all season. Very impressive. But Aidan O'Shea, when he wins the ball, he was so flabbergasted by the ferocity of the tackling that he actually ends up giving away a cheap hand pass.
It's another thing as well there. Brafey, I don't want to use the word sacrifice, but they've put Conor O'Shea to centre half forward to mark Kevin McLaughlin. He seems to be the guy that is doing that job. You're making a point. Conor hasn't been in the game so far. I'm watching him there. He's watching Kevin all the time. Conor O'Shea has thrived all year in playing his own game out of the middle of the field, slipping in a while to full forward. And he's kind of been a loose type of player that has come on, kicked a few scores, set up a lot of stuff. They're taking away one of the bigger.
Missing that, and I would have thought they would have put James Minogue, but if they put James Minogue back at full back on Aidan Norm, they've obviously identified him as a threat. There are threats all over the place, but I agree with you, Nigel. I think Conor O'Shea needs to have a more of a positive influence for this Brafey team.
So we're back up and running. That free taken inside Knockmore's own 45-metre line, and we've played 13 and a half minutes. It's Knockmore leading 1-2 to 2. The North Mayo men in possession, and they're spraying it into the centre now towards Kieran King, and King gives it to Shane McHale. And a very talented footballer, of course, represented Mayo at all age groups, including senior, and he's one of 3 brothers involved in the Knockmore squad today. Plays it forward to one of those, Darren McHale. There's 2 Brafey men around him, entering into the large D. Good tackling there, and Michael Hall comes out with it, needs support. He gets it from the shape of Keith Mulcrone, and it's back now with Rory Martin, I think it is, inside his own 21 metre line.
Yeah, Rory's back there picking up that handy ball.
And now it's with Seamus O'Shea on his own 45 metre line, looking to play it towards Aidan. He's well marshalled, it's gone out for a sideline ball.
The tough little boy is David McHale. He's a tough little operator, and he's
if your name is McHale and you come from Knockmore, you're going to have to be tough. It's very simple, you have no choice, related or not.
Exactly. Somewhere down the back through the generations. But no, absolutely there. He knew that ball was going to go over the line, and he just made sure he body checked Aidan there.
Yeah, he did it well. Good defended.
Kevin McLaughlin now on the ball for Knockmore, just inside his own half. He's offloads it, gives it short, and now Knockmore will look to go on another attack, entering into the Brafey half, looking to send a long one in towards the full forward line towards Peter Naughton, but it's well read back there, and Brafey cut out the danger and play it forward now to Aidan O'Shea. He's on his own 45 metre line. He's looking up to see can he play one inside to Tommy O'Reilly. It's a good ball inside. Tommy has a bit of work to do to try and pick it up because he's well watched by Conor Flynn. Tommy's trying to cut inside. He's close to the end line there. Good tackling and ferocity from Conor Flynn. Still there with Tommy, and he gets support, and Brafey win their free.
Yeah, good play. Great ball. I was just wondering, when Brafey had 14 men back, the only person they had up was Tommy O'Reilly. I'm wondering how are they going to transition that ball quickly in the same way Knockmore done. They don't have the runners. In fairness, what it took was a top class pass from Aidan O'Shea in between three Knockmore men. Tommy O'Reilly got it. Great tackling from Flynn. Dunn came to help him and was fouled. It's a chance, but it's a difficult free. Is it Tommy that's taking it over the right hand side? It is, yeah.
It looks like it is Tommy O'Reilly over that far side underneath the stand. It is a very tough angle, but this is to reduce the deficit and bring it back to a 2-point game. Off his left boot, he kicks it up, and it's over the bar. It's a great score from Tommy O'Reilly. That's his first of the afternoon, and now, lads, it's back to a 2-point game.
I will say that Conor Flynn is a forward. He's the first year playing in defence, and he's been attacking half-back the whole year long. It was the first time he's been caught with Tommy O'Reilly, where I think it was easy enough to cut out if he had read it a small bit earlier, because as you said, there was 4 or 5 not more guys. It's a water break. There was 4 or 5 not more guys to cover it, and it's just, I know he did very well tackling there, but they just need to be aware there's not a lot on for Brafey when they break, so it's awful important that Knockmore do pick up those runners.
So at the water break, it's Knockmore leading Brafey 1-2 to 3 points. It's a 2-point advantage for Knockmore. It's been an enjoyable opening quarter, has to be said.
It has, yeah, and it's kind of gone according to the script, to be honest with you. Knockmore normally look for the good start. They got their goal, and a good goal it was. In fairness, it was Peter Naughton that came in along the line, and he hand passed a great ball which nearly overstretched Darren McHale, but he dived at full strength to put it into it, full stretch to put it into the goal. So it was good. But Brafey have settled a bit since then, and they have dropped 1 or 2 men back, and I think they have identified that maybe they need more men around that area in front of their full back line, because that's where they were vulnerable. The difficulty when they do that is that how are they going to get that ball from their defence into their attack before Knockmore.
Yeah, Brafey's transition is not at the same place or down the line as far as Knockmore's are. Knockmore will be disappointed. 2 or 3 times David McHale went forward there, drove a ball into Peter Naughton. You know what Knockmore have been very good at is they go through the hands, wait for the guys to break from the middle, and put that inch perfect ball in. They have snatched at 2 or 3 balls that have gone in there, and they just need to be, but Knockmore will be absolutely delighted. They'll have spoken so much about getting into a lead, protecting that lead and breaking and getting the scores when they present the opportunities, when they present themselves.
Yeah, I'm just looking here, lads, just at the start, the switch that was made. Garrett Dunn is in. I think Rory Martin has gone to the back line, and I don't think Mark Turvin is starting for Brafey, as far as I can make out. I think that seems to be the switch.
And a great use of the mark there from the restart straight away by Rory Martin underneath the stand. It is Brafey trailing Knockmore by 2 points, 1-2 to 3, and Brafey on the attack here now in the shape of Matty Ruan. Matty, he's about 40 metres out, he's looking up at the post, but Knockmore have the bodies around him, not allowing that option, so he plays it back now to Seamus O'Shea. Shamey does a quick 1-2, trying to get into a good position if he can, or to offload it to someone in a better position, because there's 2 and 3 Knockmore around him. He's fouled in the large C. Good play from Seamus O'Shea.
And we talked about the physicality of Brafey, and in particular there's nobody stronger on that team than Aidan O'Shea, and that's maybe where Knockmore might struggle. If they runs at them in straight lines, Knockmore had 2 men around to defend him well, but it just wasn't good enough to stop Seamus O'Shea, so they had to come in with a foul, and now this is a gimme for Tommy, because they're after moving the ball in.
Yeah, ball forward.
With Shane McHale that was involved in the tackle, and he broke Shane McHale very
and I see
Kevin McLaughlin,
Aidan O'Shea getting to know each other there with the kicking.
It's over the kick. You see, this happened in the minor match as well, where the goalies now leaving the kicking tee out there for as long as they can. So straight away they can get out. Especially Colin Reap will be thinking about this. Aidan O'Shea wasn't having any of it. Kevin McLaughlin wanted to protect the kicking tee or the tee, and Aidan will always win that battle now.
It's gone over the bar from Tommy O'Reilly. That's his second point of the afternoon, and it's back to a 1 point game here in Castlebar.
Yeah, Breffy have settled well into it after giving it a bit of start. They're settled down into the game. Defensively, they look a bit more organised. It's about them getting that ball quickly into their attack, but it's a very evenly contested, very enjoyable game so far.
So Colin Reap's kick out was aimed towards Conor Flynn underneath us here, but it was well taken out by Colin Flynn, and Flynn plays it forward now to Tommy O'Reilly. O'Reilly on the attack. Knockmore with 3 players around him trying to dispossess him. He gets support from Aidan O'Shea. O'Shea to Matty Ruan. It's out in the 45 metre line now. It's now a Conor O'Shea off his right boot. This is an absolute monster if it goes over, and it does go over. We're level. Great score
for Conor O'Shea, and we were just talking about that. That's been missing from his game because he's marking Kevin McLaughlin, but you have to do more than just mark Kevin McLaughlin, put him on the back foot, and that was a kick from all of 46 or 47 metres. He's been doing that all year, in fairness to him. A great score, a really important and really, really important score for Britain.
Brilliant from Tommy O'Reilly. The ball is kicked out here. It's over Conor Flynn's head. Tommy O'Reilly gets it, plays a 1-2. He drives at them. Kevin McLaughlin has no choice but to come for the centre half back position, does a good tackle and turns him over, gives Conor the yard, and Conor straight away he leaves from the D and comes back out the field, demands it like an out half in rugby, and kicks a fantastic point.
Yeah, there was still a lot of work to be done when he got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, absolutely great score. 20 minutes gone here in the county final. It's Brafey 5 points, Knockmore 1-2. Midwest Radio's coverage with thanks to Ceramic City, Castlebar, Charleston and Sligo. It's now with the captain for Knockmore, David McHale, inside his own 45 metre line. He gives it to the goalkeeper who comes out, Colin Reap, and Reap looking to launch one forward. It works out from in the end, and Aidan Orm wins it. Orm trying to split the post. It's going to be tight, and it's gone to the near post and wide, a 5th wide of the afternoon.
But a nerves there in the Brafey defence. One thing I will say, just watching the matchups, Michael Hall, I think Brafey have got this dead on. Michael Hall has gone to take up Darren McHale. Seamus O'Shea has gone in and Conal Dempsey.
Yes,
and I'm watching Seamus there with Conal. He's really he's getting on top of him.
He is, and Conal he's actually he's making sure that Conal has a quiet game there. He's curbing his influence, but that was poor from Rory Martin as a sweeper. The ball dropped over him, he dropped it, gave Orm a chance, and Orm should have scored.
He'd be disappointed with that.
Yeah, a terrific interception there by Kevin McLaughlin on Matty Ruan from Robbie Henley's kick out, and Knockmore have won it back now. They're with Conal Dempsey in possession. Matty Ruan trying to win it back for his side, but he's able to fend him off and offloads it, and now there's switch direction to this side. It's a challenging ball for David McHale, but he manages to keep it in, and he's just entering into the Brafey half now. Gives it short to Pierce Rutledge. Pierce's dad, Desi, of course, heavily involved with Knockmore GA club down through the years. A great character, spoken on Thursday night. Pierce now gives it short to Keith, and there's been a foul just outside the 45 metre line.
Yeah. Keith has done well, isn't he? He's coming out, he's foraging there where Morris. See, now Morris would have spoken about the game plan, about dealing with Aidan and everything else. Now that's gone out the window because Aidan has gone to midfield. So David McHale now is out here. He finds himself out in the wing position. Sean Holmes, David McHale, they're the guys that are finding themselves on the ball. Where Namor would far rather to have young King, Kevin McLaughlin on the ball.
Yeah.
And it's not suiting Namor. So Keith comes back, knows there's nothing happening, gets on the ball, and with his brother Pierce drives at Brafey and wins the free.
But you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to, just because you don't find yourself in a place of the pitch that you're a customer used to, then you got to be able to make the right decisions in the parts of the pitch that you're not used to.
So Peter Naughton is ready to take this free. There's a bit of noise because they're giving out by where he's taking it from.
Well, Tommy O'Reilly ran as close to a ball as you could run to without hitting it that time.
Yeah, so Peter is getting ready just outside the 45 metre line, and we'll look to see if he can edge his side in front once again. He doesn't connect well, but it's not gone out. Knockmoreman gets a hand to it, but it's picked up back there by Robert Fadden for Brafey, and Aidan O'Shea, the captain, back there as well. Gives it short to Robbie Hindley. Robbie, who plays short as well, so Brafey look to build up a bit of momentum, and they play it right down the line here in front of us on the McHale Road side, the media tower, as James Minogue has it. James, the local school teacher, gives it short to Matty Ruan. Coming at speed off the shoulders, Keith Mulcrone. Back to Matty. He's about 21 metres out from that Knockmore goal. He turned inside. It's a beautiful score from Matty Ruan, and we're level again. That's his second point of the day.
And 11 more players inside the 45-metre line. You know, like it looked like the chance was gone.
It did, but like it was good play. Braefield beginning to do the simple things well, and I would have said beforehand that one of the players that they need to step up to the mark and play better than he has been, because he's a top quality player, is Matty Ruan, and he's shown that today. That's his second point from play. Really good score for Braefield.
Yeah, really good score from Braefield. They're leading now 6 points to 1-2.
It's the first time in the lead, I'd say.
Absolutely, it's their first time leading here this afternoon. Of course, Knockmore ran into 1-1 to no score lead, but since then Braefield have settled into it. 2 points from Tommy O'Reilly, 2 from Matty Ruan, 1 from Conor O'Shea, and 1 from Colin Flynn. Knockmore in possession right around the middle of the park. They're looking to play it in towards Darren McHale. Darren, of course, goal scorer in the win over Ballintubber at the quarter-final stage. He gives a short now to Aidan Orm back to McHale off his left boot, and there was pressure as he was taking the shot from Robert Fadden, and it's gone wide.
Braefield are defending much better now. They have 12 men behind the ball. They seem to have a better idea of what they're about. Rory Martin is an out-and-out sweeper. They're putting pressure on the Knockmore kicks, and it's working well for them.
A good kick distance there from Robbie Henley, and it's one Conor O'Shea doing great work, and Tommy O'Reilly picks it up. It's now with Matty Ruan. It's opening up for Braefield. Tommy O'Reilly blasted over the bar. There was a goal chance there. He takes the point.
There was a goal chance. They'll take the point though, and they're happy with that because they're on top now. This is their purple patch. They're beginning to win that battle in the middle of the park. It was a great flick on by Conor O'Shea after Tommy O'Reilly, and he cut through. It was a goal chance. Maybe Matty Ruan was there as well. It was one of those that he was just going straight for goal. Closed the eyes, hit it hard. Happy to take the point.
Yeah, Darren McHale will be disappointed at the other end. There's a 2-point turnaround. Darren McHale off his left side going across the middle of the D there. You know, it was for Darren McHale bread and butter stuff, but what Braefield are really impressing me with is they're allowing Knockmore to go lateral. They're saying, look, play the ball square if you want. Then they're getting the bodies back across. They're not allowed Knockmore to make them incisive runs.
But they didn't do that in the first 5 or 6 minutes. But they've learned. And they're always a good team that can learn on a pitch in real time. And Braefield can do that because they're experienced. Don't forget, lads, this is their 4th final in 8 years. They have a wealth of experience built up. And game management is hugely important. And Peter Ford and Shane Conway will dictate to the players, lads, make the calls on the pitch. They'll give some advice, but the players have got to carry out those instructions. And I think their game management so far has been quite impressive.
There was a school of thought during the week that Braefield would do more damage, not more, with actually Aidan O'Shea out the field, that they would dictate to play a bit more out there because it was going to be tied up in there anyways, and that has been the case since Aidan has gone out there. You know, they've really tightened up the whole show, but the backs in particular have tightened up.
And now Knockmore in possession, trying to respond to those Braefield scores as a nice low ball is played from Pierce Rutledge inside to Peter Naughton. He's well marked though and well watched. He's trying to get support. He gets in the shape of Keith Rutledge. Keith trying to cut inside. He's about 25 metres out from that Braefield goal. He gives a short to Conall Dempsey. It's a high one. It's not going to make it. And Knockmore man came in there, but umpires have signalled it wide, and Robbie got a good thump there as well.
Aidan Orm has a great spring on him, and I tell you, he got up way above Robert there. But the one thing I would say again, I just think Seamus O'Shea, the role Seamus O'Shea is saying to Conall Dempsey, if you want to go out, get the ball, you can have it, right? But you're not going to come through the middle here at any stage.
You're not passing me. Thou shalt not pass, I think he's saying to him. And what he's doing, he's forcing him to kick shots from long, which is exactly what Braefield want.
And it is. And you know, when you have young lads there, you know, whether you like it or not, it's going to eat away a small bit of the likes of Connell's confidence there. And you know, again, it's a wrong decision. Knockmore need to be just a small bit more patient, go through the hands a small bit more, and they just need to get a score.
Just over 25 minutes gone here in the county final. It's Braefield leading by 2 points, and they're in possession once again, entering in to the Knockmore half with Conor O'Shea. Conor gives it short. They're looking up to see what options are available inside. They're going to send one in now towards Gareth Dunn, but there's 2 Knockmore men around him. One of those is Sean Holmes and also Kieran King. And now Knockmore on their own 21 metre line, trying to get out, but good tackling there from Aidan O'Shea on Conor Flynn.
He's giving a free for the push.
Is he going to give a free or a sideline?
No, he's giving a free for the push. I can see John Clavey hand signalling there.
Aidan is protesting though.
He is. Well, he's well entitled to protest, but when you look at it was young Conor Flynn, an 18-year-old. When Aidan O'Shea goes pushing an 18, there's only going to be one result, but it was a free.
I was just going to say, when Aidan pushes, you're pushed, alright.
And you stay pushed.
So Knockmore take it, and now a bit of speed coming into their play in this manoeuvre. They're trying to work it through the hands as Darren McHale now going straight through the centre, looking for support to play it inside. Knockmore with Shane McHale, and just there for the taking. Brafey getting the boots in, and eventually Brafey have one possession back, and I want to clear their lines again.
And credit to Matthew Ruan and Conor O'Shea, they got back there, both of them tracked, and Darren McHale's strong run, and eventually they got a dispossession.
And Shamey O'Shea coming out there, he was brought down, and there's a bit of trouble perhaps for Knockmore player, was it? I think it was Aidan Orme.
It's
Aidan Orme on Shamey O'Shea now. It's definitely a card, probably a yellow. I'd say there was maybe a bit of an attempt to play the ball. It looked awkward more than anything else.
Yeah, he's indicating that he's indicating it's a pull down.
Yeah.
It's indicating it's a pull down.
It could be black. In Orme doesn't like it. It's a black card, I think.
It looks like it. He's running away, yeah, and he's... See what John Glavy's going to give him, the Ahmore man. Yeah, it's a black card.
One thing about dealing with John Glavy all these years, you get to know his signals and his style and everything else. And the minute he put out the arm and it dropped his shoulder.
I'll say one thing about John, though, he always retains the capacity to surprise you.
Certainly he's a big loss. He's scored 7 points the last 2 games, and he's
lads, on the one before that, I think it's everything about the game so far.
As one was sent in towards Aidan O'Shea, there's
45.
2 Knockmore around him. David McHale and Kieran King has gone out for 45.
Nigel. Yeah, one thing I would say, I think the last attack from Knockmore just was indicated exactly how the game is going. Darren McHale gets the ball, there's not a lot on, he drives through, he's under huge pressure, throws the ball to Peter Nyackton, who's coming out and does well, but straight away all the guys that are following Darren McHale have them swamped up straight away, and Brafey have been absolutely outstanding in that, as Declan said, since the first few minutes.
They have, yeah, they've reacted to it, in fairness to them, and they've reacted well, and they've learned since they gave away the goal. They've closed up the shop, they've identified the runners coming through like Darren McHale, they've got the men on them, and they're getting dispossessions in.
So it's just going into injury time now, and Robbie Henley with this 45 will look to stretch Brafey's lead. It's not going to make it, and no, that just wasn't there. It's third wide for Brafey.
Like him, he's been kicking well this year. That one never really threatened to go over the bar. He pulled it well to the left.
Yeah, all the kicks lads off the ground so far have been very poor.
They have, yeah.
And a short one there from Colin Reap to Kieran King's a lot of pressure. Brafey were wise to it, but eventually Knockmore get away with it and they win it free, and there's calls for a card to come here.
I think a yellow card for Conor O'Shea.
No need for it. There was no need for
absolutely, that. Absolutely. You know, you'd be...
No, it's just
a chicken, rightly so. No, fair, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Shane McHale, problem always with Shane McHale when he's down, you know, because Shane doesn't go down, lads, unless he's...
No.
You know, but now
down, he's hurt.
The one thing about Shane, he has to be injured before he will leave the pitch.
So, yeah. But he doesn't go down easy.
As they say in the Wild West, you'd have to shoot him a few times.
Well, he's back up on his feet. He's made it tough stuff, as Declan alluded to a little earlier. All McHale's from Knockmore, tough stuff.
Yeah.
So certainly the pedigree is there, as they say, as Knockmore coming through at speed. There is Alan Stadler. Stadler offloads it. They're about 40 metres out from that Brafey goal, looking to play it into the corner, looking to get something from this, but Brafey have the bodies back there. Eventually Keith Rutledge wins it now for Knockmore. There's 3 and 4 Brafey men around him. He needs support. He's not getting support, and Brafey have won it back.
Yeah, and that's what Brafey have learned. They've identified the runners. They're getting back in, and the double team the man that gets the ball. That was Knockton that time, and the third man came for Brafey. There was only one outcome ever going to happen.
Yeah, Darren Moran, brilliant stuff. Darren Moran comes back, sees the danger straight away. They've learned. It's the point Declan is making. You know, you adapt to situations on the field, and you have to give Brafey 10 out of 10 for that. The minute they see that Peter Nyackton is out in front of Dylan Cannon, if Dylan Cannon can't take on Peter Nyackton, someone else goes and helps him.
That's it, yeah.
So now Brafey on the attack again, this time in the shape of Dylan Cannon. He's about 45 metres out from that Knockmore goal. He goes short to Conor O'Shea. O'Shea gives it back to brother Aidan, and Aidan now to Matty Ruan. They're entering in now 40 metres out, as it's with Michael Hall off his right boot. Hall triggers, and
they should have scored. Right and wide. Should have scored the more than one that Darren McHale missed on the other side. That's one that he should have scored. Michael Hall. It was a perfect shot for a right for the kicker, just to curl it that little bit in. He just didn't get a hold of it, and it went right on the near side.
Yeah, we've had a few very, very good points kicked, but we've had a number of, I won't say easy chances, but you know, ones you'd expect.
Chances to be disappointed with.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Colin Reap forced to go along with this kick out, and it's Brafey who win the breaking ball in the shape of James Minogue.
And I'm just looking at Colin there. He's speaking to his backs after that they've got to work harder. He has no choice but to go along.
Yeah.
He goes out there to where Conal Dempsey or Pierce Rutledge is, as we spoke about before the game.
Yeah.
And Brafey have all that well marshalled at the moment.
Shamey O'Shea now coming through the centre, gives a short to Matty Ruan. Matty, it's about 45 metres out from that Knockmore goal. He offloads it short to Roy Martin, and Martin now to Conor O'Shea. looking up at the post. He's going to turn. Sells a nice dummy there to Darren McHale. Plays it over the top now towards Tommy O'Reilly. O'Reilly has Conor Flynn keeping close tabs on him. Kieran King comes
45.
in as well to double team. It's out for 45.
Yeah, Robbie Henley's going to get a chance now to redeem himself, and sometimes I've often seen with Robbie, if he misses one, he often gets the next one, so we'll watch this one closely. But Brafey finishing strong here. Knockmore will be happy enough to see the half-time whistle come, Nigel.
You took the words out of my mouth, Declan. I'd say Knockmore, Raymond Dempsey is just praying that he'll blow the half-time whistle at the moment, because they look like they're taking in water all the time. They're working awful hard to cover those runs. But saying all that, I'm fierce impressed with Brafey, how tolerant there, how patient there. They're waiting for Knockmore to come in, and then they're just holding on to possession, waiting for the right time to go at them.
Yeah, well, it's been all Brafey in the last while. This looks like no, that's gone to the left and wide, but I was just saying it's been 6 without reply for Brafey, and that's the half-time whistle, and it's Brafey going out the break leading 7 points to 1-2. All in all, an interesting opening half, but as you said, Nigel, Knockmore will be happy, and certainly Ray Dimps will be happy that half-time whistles come now.
Yeah, they'll be happy to only win 2 points down, but look at from Brafey's point of view, look at all the answers, or the answer to a lot of the questions we asked, or they were set up there before the game, have been answered there. Brafey have decided to change.